Welcome back, everyone, to yet another episode of Major Money. And we're going to start out with some housekeeping. If you watched us on Friday, me and Ross, you will have known. So we never hit a family play. And if you're unfamiliar, family plays are I choose a prop and then Ross will choose a prop. And previously, Sean would choose a prop instead of Ross. So we combined to make one prize pick slip of two props. We've never hit one on Major Money. Ross first on Friday. I got to give a shout out to this because it's unbelievably bad. He had Travis Hunter 100.5 yards over. He finished with 100. we got hooked on the very first Major Money family play that was going to hit. Next time we got you. Friday, we got you. I promise. We will hit a family play on Friday. But today we're talking about Sunday Night Football. And the very best Sunday Night Football prop is still this Caleb Williams prop. If you have not used it yet, you can see you have roughly 18 minutes left to use it for 0.5 passing yards. Obviously, Caleb Williams is going to hit that. Just throw one little pass and he's got it. So he has it now. And you have 2 more weeks. If you remember, every week in September, a free Caleb Williams square to celebrate him being the number 1 overall pick. We will get 2 more free squares. So even if you do miss out on this one, you still have 2 more opportunities. So be sure to download the app. When you download the app, Prize Picks, or you sign up with an account if you want to use your web browser, use code 5, F-I-V-E, and then you get $50 after you play your first 5. So put that $5 bet on a square with Caleb Williams and you can match it up with another one. You get a free one leg there, so you just have to hit another prop. Plus, then you get a free $50 instantly to then use for future bets. So use code FIVE5 to get free $50 after your first $5 bet and use that for a Caleb Williams free square. And then you're cashing out in multiple ways. So for today, though, we're not going to use that because that would be cheating as our 3 props. We're going to go first over to Nico Collins. Nico Collins, if you're unfamiliar, is a breakout receiver. He is very consistent in his receptions. Seems like no matter the type of game they're playing, he always at least gets 5 receptions. I'm going to bet on that happening again. I think this could be a blowout and there are a lot of opportunities. So I think they're going to pass a lot. He is going to get 6-7 receptions this game easily. Nico Collins is a really good player, a really good wide receiver. They are a stacked wide receiver room, but I'm not concerned. I think everyone will eat in this game for the wide receivers. For the Houston Texans, CJ Stroud will be dealing the ball out generously to all of them, and I don't think the Bears will really be able to keep up. So Nico Collins over 5 receptions. You can see it's hit for the last 5, pushed one more, but there's only been one game into the season. The last 5 don't really matter too much, in my opinion, especially them adding Stephon Diggs. So we still don't have a ton of data to base a lot of these picks on, but I think Nico Collins is going to continue his very consistent play. Next over, we're going to Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, I feel like, is a very underrated running back in the NFL. Seems like a lot of people don't actually know how good he is and the production at least he can put on, especially in good offenses. As it looks like my prop might have moved, or I can't find it here. Let me see. I had 73.5 rush yards. Let's see here. Maybe I'm going crazy. I don't see it. I see they still have the Goblin 59.5. They have another Goblin of 49.5. And then they have a Demon of 89.5. And then it looks like they have a Demon of 79.5. The 73.5 seems to have just disappeared in the last 5 minutes. So if you refresh and it shows up for you, take that 73.5. If not, we'll use, for the sake of this board, we will use the 79.5. He has been feasting and putting up great numbers in his past 2 games. Once again, one game into the season. So versus Indianapolis Colts, they have the worst run defense in the NFL. So he did get 159. But it's similar if y'all watched on Friday of when I said Dylan Sampson. I think he could get this pretty easily. I think after Houston scores a good amount of points, like I said they would, with Chicago, I think not being the best, not being able to keep up with all the offensive firepower, I think it's going to turn into the Joe Mixon show in about the second half and halfway through the third quarter into the fourth quarter, and he will just be racking up rush yards. I will not be surprised if he rattles off one or two 15 to 20-yard runs as well, which then would make this very hittable. So I really like Joe Mixon. I've been a fan of his at the Bengals, and now I'm a fan of his in this offense. I think he puts up a lot of stats. If you more want to hedge and for the passing game, you can do his reception and rushing yards. But I think, like I said, I think the wide receivers are going to feast in about the first half and halfway through the third quarter. Then I think it's going to turn into the Joe Mixon show, and he's going to really rack up yards in the second half of this game. So I really, really like Joe Mixon rushing yard props here, and we're going to go with the 79.5 right there. Then I'm going to go under Caleb Williams pass yards. So yes, you can't pair this with the over 0.5 pass yards. Obviously, you can't use the same player. You can't use just one person from the same team. But Caleb Williams, I think it's still going to take him a little bit of time to figure out the NFL. I think this all with most rookie quarterbacks. He just had 93 last time against the Titans, and the Titans just aren't a good team. I just think he's going to struggle today. They're going to try to force and try to do a little bit too much keeping up with Houston. I think that's actually going to hurt his production. I think he's going to try to make too many big plays. We all know he has the talent to do it, but I think it's going to come back to bite him. I would not be surprised then if Houston brought a lot of pressure, trying to throw him off script to get him uncomfortable, get him to where then he would make those mistakes. So I'm going to go Caleb Williams under. Basically, I'm going to probably shade under most of the time until he proves to me he can consistently play well. I don't think he's been too great in the preseason and then was not great in his first game. He made some great plays, but overall not too consistent, similar to what Bill Belichick was saying and how he made some great plays. And so a lot of people on social media were thinking he was playing a lot better than he was. So I'm going to go Caleb Williams under. Once again, I want to preface it's still just week 2, especially with a rookie quarterback. We do not have the greatest data in the world. So I am just kind of throwing darts at a dartboard here, hoping one of them lands. I really like these picks, though. I've been fading Caleb Williams all the time. I'm not his biggest fan, even though he has much talent. So maybe take that with a grain of salt. But like I said, like Joe Mixon rushing yards, like Caleb Williams under on passing yards, and then Nico Collins, extremely consistent wide receiver in Houston's pass-heavy offense that can score a lot of points. So then he's going to get his receptions. Joe Mixon's going to get the rushing yards in the second half. And Caleb Williams is going to be trying to play catch-up the whole time and trying to do a little bit too much, which is the one that actually set him back. So let's take some money from Prize Picks. We are on a losing streak right now, and we got to hit our hot streak again. We were doing great for a while, and now we've kind of fallen back to earth. Just keep doing the yo-yo. I call myself the J.R. Smith the betting because I'm either really hot or really cold. So we're going to flip this around. We're going to go 3 for 3 today. We're going to pair all of these, except for the Caleb Williams, with the other Caleb Williams square, and we are going to dominate Prize Picks today. So let me know in the comments if you are fading, if you are tailing. Let me know if you think I'm downright stupid. I think those are the funniest comments. But let's take some money from Prize Picks today. Let's enjoy Sunday Night Football.